From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Officials say all 8 people aboard a small plane that departed from Fairbanks and crashed near its destination at Anaktuvuk Pass has been seriously injured.
Jamie Schwartzwald spoke with 2 of the survivors today and files this report.
The Wright Air Service commuter caravan left Fairbanks at about 10:30 Saturday morning and crashed shortly before 1 p.m. about 6 miles from Anaktuvuk Pass. The pilot and 7 passengers were medevaced and treated in both Fairbanks and Anchorage area hospitals. I spoke with 2 survivors, 13-year-old Crystal Kakanya and 15-year-old Courtney Makayana this afternoon in Fairbanks. The 2 were headed home after vacationing in California when the plane crashed. They spoke of the terrifying incident.
We didn't expect to crash, so I remember waking up and we were getting lower and lower, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, we turned and hit the mountain. It was scary.
I was holding on to something really tight, and I ended up blacking out, and I woke up when it stopped, and I got my seatbelt off, and then I just walked out of the pilot's door, waited for Crystal.
Courtney was treated for an arm injury in Fairbanks, while Crystal went to an Anchorage area hospital to be treated for head trauma. Today, she boarded a plane and flew to Fairbanks, saying she was extremely scared to fly.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, I could get through this, and right when I got on the plane, I was like, I can't do it. I was telling myself that I couldn't do it, and we took off, and I fell asleep, and then right when we landed here, I was like, yes.
Tomorrow, she will board another Wright Air commuter plane to fly home to Anaktuvuk Pass.
It's kind of scary to think about, but it's safer the better.
Crystal's mother, Lena Kakanya, says it was a parent's worst nightmare to hear her daughter had been in a plane crash. It was about 15 minutes after hearing of the wreck that she was able to see for herself that her daughter had survived the accident.
The feeling I felt was the best feeling you could ever feel. To re-hold your child from a crash. I had the bestest feeling, but at the same time I was shocked and traumatized because I thought my child was dead. And that you don't ever want to face that.
A fundraiser at the David Salmon Tribal Hall raised money for an attorney that assisted the Fairbanks 4 pro bono during their evidentiary hearing last year. Organizers say the fundraiser is meant to help Kate Demarest cope with the loss of her husband, who committed suicide by crashing an airplane in Anchorage last month. Members of the Fairbanks 4 served lunch to supporters and spoke about Demarest's involvement in their cases. Reporter Ryan Grimes has the story.
Members of the Fairbanks 4 organized and attended the fundraiser today. Marvin Roberts and Kevin Pease did not say much during a speech to supporters except to give their gratitude to the community and to raise awareness of Kate Demarest's loss of her husband. Officials confirmed that Doug Demarest did commit suicide when he flew a Civil Air Patrol plane into 2 buildings in Anchorage.
Kate is family, as all of you are family, and we thank all of you for supporting us, and thank our volunteers, thank everybody, Doyon, TCC, everybody. If I leave anybody out, you know who you are.
Kate Demarest was unable to attend the fundraiser. However, George Freeze echoed a text message she sent to him for the crowd.
It says, please share my love and gratitude with everyone there. I want everyone to know that I strongly feel the love and support and prayers from Fairbanks, and it means the world to me. I know that I am one among many of you gathered there today who has been touched by suicide. Know that as I go through this darkness, I know I am far from alone. Many of you have lived through this and survived it, and so will I.
Demarest was primarily tasked with assisting George Freeze during the Fairbanks 4 evidentiary hearing in 2015. She also helped the other 4 with their cases. Last month, attorneys for Marvin Roberts, George Freeze, Kevin Pease, and Eugene Vent secured a deal with the state of Alaska that released the 4 from jail despite their convictions of murdering John Hartman in 1997.
It's all because Kate and Dorsey and Whitney and our attorneys and everything that did a phenomenal job to make this all happen. And I can't thank her enough, can't thank them enough.
You must conclude.
I just hope that this all works out for them. Much love. Can't thank you enough for everything that you've done.
Fairbanks Mayor John Eberhardt attended the fundraiser and met with members of the four. He gave his condolences to Demarest and her family. Eberhardt also mentioned that he is looking into an independent review of the Fairbanks Police Department's actions in the Hartman murder case.
You know, we're a diverse, multicultural community. We've got a lot of differences, but the differences in unity are also part of the strength of our community, of our country. And this case has caused a huge rift in our community, going back to 1997, 1998.
Fries says he is doing his part for Demarest and her family as they grieve the tragic loss of a husband and father.
You know, it's very important that we show our care and concern for our, fellow community members and everything, and that, let them know that, that they're not alone in this and that they can always reach out.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting.
All right, when we come back, a new chief of staff was announced today for the city job, but he's no stranger to similar jobs, and we'll introduce him to you.
Also Thursday night, the skies were illuminated with the Sparktacular Fireworks display. We'll take you behind the scenes of how it all works. Stay with us. Welcome back. Fairbanks City Mayor John Eberhardt announced a new chief of staff for the city. He starts today. Jeff Jacobson spent much of his first day as chief of staff with Mayor John Eberhardt at the Fairbanks 4 fundraiser. And Jacobson is no stranger to public service. He was the mayor of North Pole for nearly 8 years, with another 8 years as North Pole council member. He's also no stranger to his new position, having served as Fairbanks North Star Borough Chief of Staff for 6 years with Mayor Luke Hopkins. The previous Fairbanks Chief of Staff, Jim Williams, resigned from the city for a Chief of Staff position at the borough. Jacobson says he is looking forward to learning the opportunities the city of Fairbanks will provide him.
I think the workload will still be the same, but it'll be just focused in different areas. And so I'll have opportunities to grow in new areas where I didn't have much experience or doing things in the borough. And so it's a great experience all around.
Just hours before the new year, the annual Sparktacular Fireworks show went out with a bang at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Alaska Pyrotechnics organized the logistics of the event for New Year's Eve 2015. Over 1,000 different fireworks went off over the west ridge of UAF on Thursday. The Sparktacular show had to be lit differently this year, though. Alaska Pyrotechnics relies on electronic fuses to safely light the fireworks in previous years. However, due to warm and windy weather, company volunteers and professionals dashed back and forth as they manually lit the fireworks ablaze.
We dress for it. We have Carhartt clothing, 100% cotton, and we have each other's backs, so we're always watching each other, and if we light something and the other guy doesn't see it, then we call it. And at any point, any of us can call the show.
January is National Blood Donor Month. This month, the Blood Bank of Alaska is raising awareness about the need for donors and recognizes those who routinely give blood. Now, the Blood Bank is encouraging folks from the interior to make this year's resolution to give blood on a regular basis. The blood collected is used to treat cancer patients, those recovering from surgery, and trauma victims. Each donor takes a quick health exam, which includes a blood pressure and temperature check and a short questionnaire. After that, a few minutes in the chair is all it takes to donate blood. Now, there is no substitute for blood when it is needed. Hospital patients only receive blood from volunteer blood donors, and they count on the generosity of these strangers to recover.
We always need more blood around holidays. People are busier, people are traveling more, people are off work, so unfortunately there tends to be more accidents. So January is National Blood Donors Month, and it's a month to raise awareness about the importance of donating blood, and then we try to get our donors to make a commitment to donate blood on a regular basis to help save patients' lives.
All right, Joe Cook is up next with sports and recaps some of the big local sports stories that happened during New Year's weekend.
All that and plus a new I-5 after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Happy New Year. It's Monday, so it's weekend recap time. The men's basketball team up on the hill did something they haven't done in years. Beat the Seattle Pacific Falcons, and now they're the top team in the GNAC. Saturday, Alaska defeated number 9 SPU 79-75 in Seattle. It's the first win over SPU since 2010, and their first win over a top 10 team since 2013. Javante Williams led 3 other Nanooks in double figures with 17 points. The Nanooks are 10-2 and 4-0 in the GNAC, matching their best start in conference play. UAF will put their league best 6-game win streak on the line against Western Washington on Thursday at home. The UAF hockey team started 2016 at home against the Bemidji State Beavers. This turned out to be one of the toughest series to date. Here's a recap of Saturday and Sunday's games.
The Alaska Nanooks needed a W to start the new year against the Bemidji State Beavers, a team one spot ahead of them in the WCHA standings. Saturday night was a crazy back-and-forth game. 11 goals were scored. It was 2-2 at the end of the first period and 3-3 going into the third. Tyler Morley scored the go-ahead goal to give Alaska a 5-4 advantage, but Brendan Harms forced overtime with 12 seconds left in regulation for the Beavers. Miles Fitzgerald's second goal of the game came less than 5 minutes into overtime. The Bemidji State, they take game one 6-5. There was Sunday Fun Day hockey for Game 2, and this one would still be tight. UAF was holding on to a 1-0 lead in the third period after a Nolan Heisman's first period power play goal. The Beavers thought they scored the equalizer after a wild sequence resulted in a goal, but it was disallowed. However, Leo Fitzgerald would score the game-tying goal halfway through the third for Bemidji State. Game 2 was a goalie battle as well between Davis Jones and Mike Bitzer. Bitzer made 26 saves, but Jones countered with 29. The result was a 1-1 tie. Alaska gets 1 point after back-to-back overtime games and remains in 9th place with a 3-9-4 record. The Nooks will now prepare for 3 straight road series.
Coming off the break, I feel like we've been a much better team the last 2 games, although maybe we didn't get the exact results we wanted this weekend. I think going into the 2-week road trip, we feel good as a team.
Both games this weekend, we kind of had leads late. But, you know, we'll learn. We're learning from that. We'll grow, and I think the guys will respond well on the road, and we'll come back with the handful of wins here.
The Fairbanks Ice Dogs completed another tough series with the Ashton Rebels on Sunday. This time, it was a split. The Ice Dogs hit the Rebels in the mouth with a 5-2 win on Saturday, but the Rebels responded and won by the same score on Sunday in Pennsylvania. The Ice Dogs had all the shots. 58-26 shots on goal advantage went to Fairbanks, but the Rebels, they made theirs count. Mitchell Bauman and Reiner Gorowski scored for Fairbanks. Ryan Cousin led the Rebels with 2 goals and a helper, and Darian Hansen had 56 saves. Fairbanks is 24-5-3 on the year and lead the Midwest Division by 10 points. They trail Wichita 51-53 in the overall league standings. The Ice Dogs will have their last road series against the Johnstown Tomahawks this weekend before coming back home to the Big Dipper. And now we end the weekend recap with the first I-5 of 2016. It's a Nanook-centric interior top 5 plays.
Starting off at number 5, Cassie Williams just gets the pass inside to Jordan Wilson, who spins and finishes. Wilson had 16 points and 10 boards in a 59-55 loss to MSUB on Saturday. Number 4, Tyler Morley is rewarded for effort. He gets a goal on the doorstep after falling down, but that was a part of a 4-point night against the Beavers in an epic Game 1 on Saturday. More from the same game and Morley with play number 3. He scores his second goal of the game with a wraparound shot that finds the back of the net by the slimmest of margins, as Morley won't be denied. Play number 2 from Game 1. Nicholas Koberstein scores his first career goal for UAF in a 6-5 overtime loss to Bemidji State. Morley to Josh Atkinson to Koberstein, who finishes off the nice one-timer. And at number 1, junior goalie Davis Jones of UAF makes 29 critical saves in a 1-1 tie against the Bemidji State Beavers in Game 2 on Sunday night, including some clutch ones in the final minutes of regulation and overtime. It's his 3rd highest saves total this season. To vote for the play of the week, click on your favorite play on the I-5 poll on webcenter11.com. You can also comment on the KTVF Facebook and YouTube post and at KTVF11 Sports on Twitter for your vote. The play of the week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for watching. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back in and Happy New Year to you. Hope you had a nice holiday weekend. Temperatures were very, very nice for this time of year, unbelievably warm, way above normal. And we're looking at that trend to continue. Maybe a little cooler air coming in that might cool things down a little bit tonight and tomorrow, but then after that start to warm back up again. So, and no snow in the forecast whatsoever. So we're going to continue to see some very unusual weather for January. Thank you, El Nino. I guess you can say that. Look at this photograph tonight. This is really a dynamic shot sent in by Beverly Dementis. The kids are down here watching the fireworks in the distance, and above them, the auroras are going off through the clouds. What a great photograph that is. And as always, if you have a photograph to share, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Again, a really cool photograph there. Numbers today. Today's high 32. The low last night, 1 below. Today's, well, actually, our temperature right now is 31. The record high was 40 in 1977, down to 56 below in 1975, 2 years apart. Sunrise and sunset, 4 hours and 12 minutes, a gain of 4 minutes from yesterday. And our satellite is showing everything coming out of the southeast and just going right around the top of this high pressure ridge that's kind of laying on its side. That's what's giving us the nice weather. You can see all the clouds being forced up against the mountains to the north of us, and then being blocked out by the Alaska Range. No precipitation here. Actually some rain and snow falling across to the south. What else is going on across the rest of the state? Well, over the southeastern sections, they'll be enjoying some very nice weather. Temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, just partly cloudy skies. There's some showers around the Anchorage Bowl. 42 degrees at Kodiak. Cold Bay, some snow shower activity, and 31. Up and down the west coast, nothing going on there. 31 and 38 degrees at Nome and Bethel, and 8 degrees above in Barrow. How about that? Fort Yukon at 16. Lower 48 weather tonight. Well, the energy is mainly on the west coast, and they're getting much needed rain and snow over Southern California. It's just one of many storms that they're expecting, while the eastern half of the country is recovering from all the havoc they had last week. Things are pretty quiet for the most part. The big news is going to be all the rain that's moving off of the Pacific Ocean into California and the Sierra Nevada. It's going to bring heavy snowfall above 7,000 feet, localized flash flooding, travel delays, and gusty winds. And the jet stream is the main culprit here. Jet stream going way down to the south and then bottoming out and whirling back up again to the northeast, which means more rain, but not heavy rain. The good news is for the folks that are trying to recover from the flooding, a mix of snow and rain also. One more night for the weather fact, and then the kids will be back. Our weather fact for tonight. In 1982, Racine, Wisconsin has 16 inches of snowfall in a 24-hour period, of course burying the city and setting an all-time record high for that day. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for taking care of our kids' weather each night. And tomorrow night we'll resume with kids' weather with this week's guest school, Salcha Elementary. Here's your forecast for the rest of the state. Around tomorrow in the northern sections, mostly cloudy skies for Barrow, snow showers in Nome, and mostly sunny skies for Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at breezy conditions still in Delta Junction area, mostly sunny skies at Fairbanks, and just a few more clouds in the Healy region. Over southeast Alaska, some morning fog, becoming sunny by midday and continuing for the rest of the day, so nice weather there. Over the southwest part of the state, it looks like snow showers for Cold Bay, rain and snow at Bethel, and scattered showers in the Kodiak area. And down across the south central regions, over the Anchorage Bowl, scattered rain showers for Homer, isolated rain and snow showers in the Anchorage Bowl, and still some snow showers for Valdez. On our forecast for the remainder of the night for the Fairbanks area, looking at cloudy skies early, then becoming partly cloudy, 5 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, more sun than clouds and warmest in the hills. A little bit of an inversion going on, 16 degrees for the high. And the extended forecast for the 5-day period, you can see here, temperatures pretty consistent all the way across the board. A little bit warmer by Saturday and Sunday. And also, once again, not looking at any precipitation in the forecast. Excuse me, overnight lows will also be above normal, continuing at 6 below tonight, or actually Wednesday night, but then warming back up again to the 10-degree march. So this has been some incredible weather.
It has, and it's going to continue even after break, and I'm sure that all the parents know. But we should remind them that it's school tomorrow.
Oh yeah, all starts back up again.
Just in case you forgot.
Well, that went quick this year.
It sure did.
But yeah, so a reminder about late bus reports tomorrow as well, because the roads aren't that bad right now, but
not too bad,
it could be a little slick. All right, thank you, Mike. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Well, tonight on NBC Nightly News, President Obama has vowed to begin the new year with executive action on gun control. That's up next with Lester Holt.
Be sure and join J.R. Lewis tomorrow morning for more news updates during the Today Show right here on Channel 11.
All right, from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a good night.
Good night.